So I'm going to bring up the next speaker, the first speaker, our first speaker, and let's do that right now. Da-da-da. Awesome. We have him right here. Dr. Joybert, it's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. So good to be part of the virtual summit, and of course to connect, and of course to share, and also to learn.
It's so great to have you here. So I'm going to hand over the stage to you so they can take over from here. You can introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then go into your topic. Awesome.
All right. Awesome. So good to be here. And of course, it's good to have everybody here. Thank you also so much for creating the time. You know, it is such a privilege to have people give you their time and their attention. And I always say that, you know, attention is the most powerful currency right now in this dispensation. So we honor you and we thank you for doing that. And of course, to the team organizing the virtual summit, which is like a big part of the Digital Explore conference that will be happening in Benin, in Cotonou. It's such a privilege that you guys, you know, found me worthy, found me competent enough to contribute on your platform, and of course to bring in my experience and my knowledge that can impact the audience. And I'll go straight to my session. I will not be introducing myself because kind of my experience and the work I do is being mixed into what I'll be talking about. So in the process, what I'll be talking about, you will learn about me and the work that I do. So I will be talking on the art of leveraging, you know, the art of leverage in achieving digital transformation. And we are in a dispensation where digital transformation is not just a concept. It's not just a popular word or a popular phrase, but it has become a part and parcel of career, business, leadership, politics, economics, anything that you can think of right now. Digital transformation is part and parcel of it. Even dating, right? Even getting married. You know, I came across a research that was shared a couple of weeks ago, and you know, 30 years ago, the highest number of the highest place or location where people used to meet and get married was in high school and university. But 30 years after, the highest place where people meet and get married is on the internet. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, what have you, right? So digital transformation is affecting basically every single sector. And it is one of those skills, one of those areas when it comes to knowledge that it is not a nice to have, it becomes a must have. And that is why this conference is critical for everybody to be part and parcel of it. And I can guarantee you that in the next couple of minutes, what I will share with you, whether you're a student, a worker, an executive, an entrepreneur, a leader in whatever sector, what I will share with you can literally redefine the rest of your career in whatever that you do. So a couple of years ago, I had the privilege of being interviewed in a top global media space, and they were interviewing me based on my speaking experience across different countries. By God's grace, I've been privileged to travel 20 countries, 4 continents, to speak, train, consult, and to coach with different people from different sectors. And this journalist asked me, "How did you get here?" And I said something that he actually laughed. I said, "I stumbled on it." You know, I did not set out a couple of years ago to becoming a speaker, a trainer. I always found this. I'm a village boy, raised in a village, grew up in a village, and I came to a town for the first time when I was trying to get to do my secondary school studies. Unlike many people listening to me, you were born in the city, raised in the city, grew up in the city, and of course got a job in the city. But some of us were raised in a village where there is no electricity, there is no pipe-borne water, there are no roads. We see a car once a month, or sometimes once in 2 months, right? So, but I told this journalist that I stumbled on public speaking. I didn't know that I would travel the world to speak, train, consult, and do what I do. And how did that came about? The backstory is on the art of leverage when it comes to digital transformation. So at that time, in a small town in the northwest region of Cameroon, known as Kombo, it's a semi-urban area, a semi-urban town at that time, a couple of years ago. Electricity was being rationed. And I can remember vividly, we used to anticipate that we'll have electricity about 3 to 4 hours every day. So you need to program yourself very well. And at that time, internet was very, very minimal. I mean, I'm talking about the bandwidth, the strength of it, unlike now where some people may have 230 megabytes per second. At that time, we used to, when we have 15 kilobytes per second, we are very excited that internet is so good. So to give you perspective, to get a video, a 30 minutes video uploaded on the internet on YouTube at the time would take about 2 days. I'm literally telling you the truth, right? So, and at that time, I started a training center known as the Center for Entrepreneurship, Leadership, and Business Management Development. And the goal was to provide a platform in my community where I would train young people on employability skills and enterprise development skills. And we started this training in our community. And later on, because of Facebook, I would share the things that we're doing in our community. And at that time, Facebook was gaining grounds, in Africa and of course in Cameroon at the time, but not as high as it is right now. And I started sharing all of those experiences we were having. And one thing we noticed was that other young people from other cities and other locations, even other countries, started indicating interest in being participants in our trainings. We even had on several occasions where young people travel from the capital city, from Douala, Yaoundé, Boya, to come stay in this semi-urban area for 2 months for the duration of a training to take our courses, right? But we had a lot of high interest from young people from other cities and countries who wanted to take our programs. Now I started thinking, how do we serve these young people from these different locations? Now I am bringing you now to the art of leverage. How did we leverage basic platforms and basic technology, digital platforms in a semi-urban area like that to be able to meet and serve these young people? So I started thinking, and a couple of ideas came to mind. And we decided that we are going to use a local webcam on a Pentium 3 computer. So people don't know what that means, and we'll record these videos. And we'll record them. We're going to get them on YouTube under unlisted at the time. And we're going to gather these young people on a platform. That time too, WhatsApp was just, getting popular. So those who had smartphones at the time were able to get access to WhatsApp and all of that. So we created a structure like that, and it was simple. Record the video, get it on YouTube and unlisted, and then those who are outside the town are able to get links to this video and go through the trainings. And of course, at the end of the 2 months, they do the final examinations. And the final examinations was in terms of you write a paper, a practical paper, talking about a solution in your business, in your workplace, or in your life, in your community, and you create a system how you're going to solve that problem and the outcomes that you expect to happen after solving the problem. Just giving you a thematics of what we're doing. But a lot happened after that. It was through social media, it was through leveraging these basic platforms that I noticed that companies and conference organizers started asking for me to come speak in their events. When I started my journey, I didn't know that there was something called a public speaker, a motivational speaker, a professional trainer, a corporate trainer. I stumbled on those things as I was just doing what I felt that I had to do when it comes to training young people in the community. And the ripple effects became so powerful that led, to me building a career around this that has spanned across different countries and different continents. So in all of that story, the main thing I wanted to get was how we were able to leverage basic platforms and create significant impact in the lives of young people across the African continent. And when I started looking back at my story and the process we went through, I was able to document a couple of core skills and core pillars that if you are a student, if you are a worker, you are a professional, you are in a place where you really want to go further in what you do when it comes to leveraging digital platforms and technology to transform what you do. If you begin to do these things I will share with you, I can really guarantee you that you will be able to achieve more, do more, impact more people in the best way that you can. As I said earlier on, when it comes to the digital space and having digital skills, it is not nice to have. All of these have become a must have. So the question is, are you willing to pay the price to have what you must have in order for you to create the impact that you have to create. All right, good. If you are still following me, just leave a comment and confirm that I want to make this statement. I am ready to pay the price to move forward. Write that in the comment sections as you are following me. Let me know that you are following, and of course, you can get me loud and clear. So, I will share with you 5 core pillars that makes up the framework. The framework that if you begin to execute from today, if you begin to advance the execution of these pillars in whatever that you do, you will see something different happening in whatever you are building. Especially for my brothers and sisters across the African continent. My work has helped me to be able to travel across close to 17 African countries to to train and to talk to different people, right? And any young person in Africa, if you are going to advance, young or old, if you're going to advance in whatever you do, you have to come to a point where understanding the digital space and acquiring the right knowledge and experience is a core part of your daily learning process. 5 core pillars, and then I'm done. I guarantee you, if you implement all 2, 3, or all of this and give yourself time and consistency, you will see something different. Number 1, on this path to impact, on this path to dominion, on this path to greatness and significant transformation, be ready to start imperfect. Be ready to start imperfect. One of the biggest challenges I have seen that people experience or go through is that they want to start perfect. They want to be perfect with technology. They want to be perfect with resources. They want to be perfect with everything before they start. If you want to start perfect, you will never start. You know, there is a quote that Seth Godin, one of my favorite business experts that I follow, he said, if you set your bar at amazing, it will be difficult for you to start. This quote is mind-blowing, especially for those who are still at the starting phase of their destiny. Hear this again. Seth Godin said, if you set your bar at amazing, this is for those who are still at the beginning phase of their journey. If you set your bar at amazing, it will be very difficult for you to start. At the beginning of your journey, your job is not to start amazing. Your job is to start imperfect. Start where you are with what you have. So talking about digital transformation and talking about leverage, the concept of leverage, I have a question for you. What can you leverage right now? There are many of you listening to me right now. Your mobile phone is enough for you to leverage. Free platforms are enough for you to leverage. YouTube has a lot of free courses that if you pay the price and watch a video 2 hours every day for the next 3 months, you will literally become a middle level expert or even a top expert in your community by just doing that. Leveraging what you have. Start imperfect. Be ready. Make up your mind to start imperfect, especially for young people that have inadequate resources. You don't have the right amount of money to start what you want to start. Start with what you have and be comfortable at starting imperfect. And let me tell you something about technology. You never become the best at using any platform at the beginning stage. Everybody starts as a learner. Everybody start using any platform as an imperfect learner. The first day you started using Facebook, you were imperfect. The first day you started using WhatsApp, you were imperfect. But yet, here you are. You can do so many things that you could not do in the past. So start imperfect. Avoid comparing your current situation with somebody who is already very successful. It's a big, big challenge for many people. There are people who are still in their first year in an industry and they are trying to compare themselves with somebody who has 15 years experience in the same industry. No, learn from them, but don't compare from them. Don't try to start where they are. Start where you are. You see that? So it is important. So comparing your current situation to someone who is already successful can often make you feel like you lack the required resources to get started. No, you do not lack the required resources. You just need to get started, and the resources will meet you as you move forward. So for some people, they want to claim that I need to learn more. I need to get all the resources before I can start. No. Let me tell you a secret that I've learned in my journey, and of course, coaching so many people around the world. Hear this and hear me very well. When you have the mindset that you want to learn more and you want to get all resources before you start, it will always prevent you from moving forward when it comes to digital transformation. So start imperfect. Number 2, one of my favorites, build discovery skills. Develop your discovery skills. Now, hear this. Great entrepreneurs often have discovery skills. If you will leverage digital transformation and succeed in whatever you're doing in this dispensation, you must have discovery skills. Have the mindset and the willingness to discover. What does that mean? You are so comfortable at using a platform that you have never used before with the mindset to discover what is on that platform. And there are 5 sub-pillars that makes up discovery skills. Number 1, associating. You must push yourself to associate. What does that mean? You must push yourself to come to a point where you are good at making connections between one thing and another. For example, the story I shared with you guys, being able to think that, let's say now WhatsApp, at the time WhatsApp did not have WhatsApp groups. Right now we have WhatsApp groups. Having a mindset that, oh, I can record a video on my phone, put it on YouTube under unlisted, gather people on a WhatsApp group and have them enroll on my course or the training program I have to offer, and I share one video a day on that group and people watch and they answer questions and all of that, right? That is the number 1 pillar under discovery skills. Your ability to make connections between one thing and another. It is called associating. The second pillar is questioning. People who have discovery skills question a lot. They question a lot. Ask questions. When you see somebody doing something in your industry or with a platform that you need to know, question. How did they do that? Number 3, observation. The third pillar under discovery skills is observation. Be very good at observing. See, many people look but do not see. Many people are able to look but they cannot see. I always say that if many people can really see in this dispensation, everybody will have a lot of opportunities. Opportunities are available for those who see, not for those who look. People who look hardly see opportunities, but people who see, who perceive, who pay the price to look deeper and see something will always see opportunities in every situation. So observe, look, and make sure you see. Number 4, one of my favorite under the pillars is experimenting. Be comfortable at experimenting. And as I said earlier on, nobody starts on the path of digital technology or digital platforms being perfect. Every new year, every 6 months, there's a new software coming out, a new platform, a new tool, something new is coming out. Everybody approaches a platform experimenting. You cannot tell me that the first day that you made up your mind to use WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, you knew what to do. Even if you read how to, you were experimenting the first time. It is the same skill and mindset you have to maintain for you to leverage digital transformation. And lastly, networking. Push yourself to network. Network with other experts and other experienced people, right? Are we good? Good. Number 3, the third pillar that you need to master and build for you to really use leverage in your journey to digital transformation. I call it fluency of ideas. Fluency of ideas. Now, fluency of ideas is a concept I've been writing about like in the last 4 years. And Fluency of ideas is the ability to, take a concept and develop it into a product or a service. In other words, this involves transforming ideas into tangible outcomes. You have an idea, you train yourself, or you go through the process of intentionally transforming that idea into a tangible outcome that somebody can see it and desire to consume that value. Fluency of ideas. Because products and services or final outcomes are not made up by one idea. They're a combination of different ideas that you bring them together to now create an outcome or a product. So if you will use leverage to achieve digital transformation, you must be good at fluency of ideas, because you will not achieve digital transformation in your career and in your business with one idea. You will need to combine a couple of ideas to create an outcome in this journey. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking of how to sit in Benin, in Cotonou, or in Nigeria, in Onitsha, in Lagos, wherever you are, and you want to get your services across all continents as much as possible, one of the most important skills that you need is the fluency of ideas. What kind of ideas do you need to bring together in a very intentional manner to develop those ideas into a tangible, significant product that when somebody hears about it or when they see it, they will understand, oh, this value is critical for me. For example, somebody right now is sitting in his or her room right now, listening to this training or this teaching right now. However, there are different ideas and different moving parts that the team of this summit were able to employ to bring this single teaching to you. There are many other speakers, but concerning me, we had an email first, had a meetings and a couple of follow-up emails, this and that, different moving parts. They were employing fluency of ideas and converging those ideas together for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and even months, just so that you can have this 40 minutes to 1 hour of teaching that will transform your life. So you see, a 40 minutes product can take you 4 weeks of employing fluency of ideas to create that 40 minutes product. It's one of the most critical skills in this dispensation. Because, several years ago, it used to be so hard to do several things with technology. But now, for example, there are several AI platforms that if you want to build a website, just write your mission, vision, description of your product, put on that AI platform. It's going to build a website for you. We're getting to a dispensation where technical skills are losing value and soft skills like fluency of ideas are becoming more powerful. Because somebody who can think well and knows that an AI platform exists can literally build a better website than an average website builder right now. You see, funny enough, I stumbled on something. Is it yesterday or today? Coca-Cola just released their first AI advertisement. Their Christmas ad, totally generated by AI. It's cheaper, was faster, and I watched the video and I think it's incredible. You see that? Fluency of ideas. Number 4, and I'm almost done. The skill of leverage itself. Remember, my topic is the art of leverage in achieving digital transformation. So I've taken you through the process and I've shared with you core pillars that you need to build on in order to leverage, a digital transformation. Now let's talk about the leverage itself, which is the 4th pillar in helping you to achieve digital transformation, either as a student, as a worker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, or in whatever that you do. Number 4, leverage itself. The ability to effectively utilize existing. The key word here is existing. The ability to effectively utilize existing resources, tools, and other people's abilities to achieve something significant is known as leverage. So based on technology, based on digital resources available to you right now at your level, what can you utilize as existing resources, tools, and other people's abilities to achieve something significant when it comes to your destiny? As I said earlier on, there are some of you listening to me right now, you have ideas that your smartphone and being able to use WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram so well can literally move you forward. Literally move you forward. You see, in the story I shared earlier on, at the moment right now, we use a learning management system that we built for ourselves because we grew and we had the money to do that. But at the beginning of our journey, we did not have the money to build our own learning management system, and we did not have the money to pay an existing management system a monthly subscription fee to use theirs. So we had to use the skill of leverage. We leverage what we have. YouTube existing. You upload videos there for free. Good. Okay, WhatsApp is easier to communicate with links and share a good number of messages on WhatsApp than on GSM text. Good. So we leverage on that existing resources, existing tools, and other people's abilities to achieve something significant. I do a lot of coaching for startup entrepreneurs. I have started over eight businesses in my life so far, and I have failed in a good number of businesses, missing out on millions and millions of money. So I know a thing or two about starting a good business and making it work. And I always tell young people who want to start a business, there's a hack in my startup process. I always tell them this, and maybe somebody will learn this and it will change something while they're building, right? It's funny, but it works, right? It is funny, but it works. Here's the concept. I always tell them, write out everything that you need to start a business. Write down, make a list of everything that you need. Then make another list from that list and write down the list of things that you need that you can beg from your friends, from your relatives, or from anybody you know. Out of the things that you need to start a business, make a list of the things that you can beg from other people. You cannot be broke and proud at the same time. Dangerous combination. Don't be broke and proud at the same time, right? Yes, it sounds funny and harsh at the same time, but it's true for many young people. I call it corporate begging. Be comfortable at begging. It's leverage, right? It's leverage at the same time. So, key points about leverage, and we'll round up with this. Be good at utilizing existing assets to gain an advantage. You need to be comfortable. You need to be good at utilizing existing assets to gain an advantage. Number two, be good at leveraging existing technology and automation tools that are free or freemium to start what you have to do so you can get the paid ones later. You see, one of the best things that you can know how to do in this life is to know how to get paid using things that are free. Then make the money, use the money to buy the things that you need to buy in order to build what you have to build. I think that is basically how I built my career. Right? Number three, the third key point when it comes to leverage is be comfortable at collaborating with other individuals. So you can leverage on their strength, on their skills, and to reach more people. Because talking about digital transformation, you will not start by knowing everything. Let me give you a quick basic hack for leverage. If you want to learn, this is what I normally do. I want to learn a particular platform, a particular skill, I always go on YouTube. And let's say I want to learn how to use Restream, right? I'll go on YouTube and search for the YouTube channel of Restream. And I'll watch all their how-to videos on how to use Restream. That's leveraging. I'm leveraging on Restream YouTube channel to get the skill I don't have. You see that? Or you can go on YouTube and search top experts in virtual video production. And you'll see so many guys giving tips on that. You start learning the basic skills on how to do that. And later on, you can start making some money from it you monetize it, and then you can get paid. And of course, you can now pay more advanced skills and become an advanced expert in that sector. One of the best things you can learn how to do is to know how to leverage existing assets, existing skills, existing tools, existing people to achieve what you have never achieved before. Number 5, and then I'll take question and I'm done. I call it skill stacking. Skill stacking. If you will achieve digital transformation, you need to learn to do what I call skill stacking. I will explain. To explain better, let me use somebody in marketing. If you're a marketing professional, here's how skill stacking can work for you. Let's say that you learned marketing in a university, or you have a degree in marketing. And in that degree program, you develop traditional marketing skills, right? But for you to be able to shine and grow in this dispensation, you need beyond traditional marketing skills. So for you to become an exceptional marketer, you need skill stacking. You need to stack more skills into your existing marketing skill or marketing knowledge that you got from the university. For example, you may need to take a separate certificate course on Facebook marketing. You take another course on Instagram marketing. You take another course on LinkedIn marketing, YouTube marketing. All of these, that is skill stacking. You are stacking relevant skills around your sector so you can become among the top 10% or top 1% or top 20% in what you do as an expert. So in digital transformation, you need skill stacking. What are those core digital skills that you need to stack to your existing skill that can help you to achieve digital transformation? You cannot achieve digital transformation with limited skills. For some people who have the money, instead of doing skill stacking, they hire people who have the skills that they need. But before you can get to the place of hiring those skills, you will definitely need to pay the price of skill stacking, right? So those are the 5 things, 5 core pillars that I know that if you do them, you execute them, you implement them, something different will happen in your journey. The question is, what will you do with what you have learned today? I always fondly say that hope without action is dead. Knowledge is not power, it is knowledge exceptionally executed that produces significant results. That is power. I believe that you are transformed, you are impacted, you picked up something that will literally change the face of your career and the face of your business or whatever that you're doing, and you will definitely produce better results and, of course, create more impact after today. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you for giving me your attention and, of course, your time to exchange with you. And, of course, looking forward to your questions if there are any. If not, I do have a YouTube channel where I share a lot of these deep insights in more details and longer videos. I have almost close to 1,000 videos, and I just train on my videos. I don't do entertainment. I just train, right? So you can find them there, and you can just search Dr. Joybert Javnyuy, and you will see it. And every other thing you find on that channel. And I have books, 4 or 5 books on Amazon. You can check them out. Hopefully they will help you in whatever you are building. Thank you again so much to the team at the Virtual Summit for the privilege to share with you guys. And of course, funny enough, I have never been to Cotonou. I've traveled across Africa so much. I've never been to Cotonou, and I've always wanted to go there. Hopefully someday, not today, of course, not this summit, but maybe another summit, I will be on ground in Cotonou to speak on ground. And of course, network with, I have friends from there, business friends, but it will be so good to be there on ground, to share with the people there. Thank you again so much, and I'm open for your questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Joybert. That was really good. I hope people were taking notes. We're going to use this time to actually talk and just have a short live discussion about some of your values. And while we're doing that, if you have any questions, just go ahead and post it in the comments, and one of the moderators will actually get that information to me so that we can actually get that question But so this is a very interesting topic you've talked about, and I believe strongly that it's so relevant for this time, and people shouldn't take it lightly. When AI was emerging, and AI has been around for a while, honestly, but when it became the generative AI and it became more public with open AI, I jumped on it immediately because I don't want to miss out on the boats. There have been many boats that have passed by that I saw them passing by and I missed that boat. This one, I ain't missing it. I want to leverage on it. But I want you to just, the first thing I want you to do first is I want you to just list those topics again, the steps again. Just list them, just steps. Go through it real quick. So that people that have missed it, maybe they were in the stream midway, they missed the steps, they can actually catch it down and write it down, and they can always go scrub the video later on and find out a little bit more about what you talked about. So just go through those steps real quick.
Yeah, so as I said, for you to be able to achieve digital transformation, banking on the skill of leverage, you will need to be comfortable at starting, being imperfect, be ready to be imperfect at the starting phase. Number 2, build discovery skills. And number 3, be good at fluency of ideas. And of course, number 4, skill of leverage itself. And number 5, practice skill stacking as you go on.
Awesome. You talked about something that is so dear to my heart, and it's about ideation. When you come up with ideas and turn it into a product. I think that was very beautiful. There's a group that I was part of some years back called, they said productizing, and so it's taking your service and turning it into a product, because that's something that can actually easily scale. I want you to share some of the challenges you faced when you were trying to productize your service. Could you just share a little insight into some of the road bumps, maybe things that you had to go through to actually get it to the finish point?
Yeah. I think the first thing that I really faced at the time was, it was something I was doing for the first time. And, the kind of, when you're a visionary, there are things that you have the concept in your mind and you're trying to figure out how to bring it on paper and how to build it. So since it was the first time of me doing that, and of course, not being in a location or in a place where I can easily access mentors or guidance, and of course, knowledge, the knowledge economy just expanded so much in the last 5 years, especially in the African setting. So at the time, it was not so robust as it is right now. But not having, the roadmap to follow, or the blueprint to follow, or the mentors to work with, or the community that you can learn from, was a challenge. Number 2, having people to understand, because you are disrupting an existing culture, you are disrupting, or you're introducing something that people are not used to, and being able to compel and to convince and to make them understand their value of bringing to the table is definitely a challenge. And of course, consistency and you believing and having that conviction that, look, this is it, it's going to work, it can transform you, was definitely, another challenge that we faced. And of course, the third, I would likely say, which is also part of business, is that challenge where, at some point you begin to wonder, how far will this go? Because does this have a future, right? And sometimes if you are not convinced and you have not seen beyond your physical eyes and what they're looking at, you can be tempted to be lazy and lacking behind because you're not convinced enough. And that's why I'm writing. I write different ideas here and there. I was writing something and I said, I've come to the conclusion that it was related to faith. And as a Christian, I was writing around faith and all of that. And I came to the conclusion that the believers that will stand are believers who are genuine about their conviction. Social media will not influence you. Somebody opinion, but you have a conviction that is so unshakable. Bringing that to ideation, I believe that ideas that will go places are ideas that you, the ideator or the founder, you have absolute conviction about that idea. You are so convinced, the kind of conviction that Steve Jobs had. Very convinced. You may not understand it, it's okay, but I'm so convinced that this is the future and this will change the lives of people. So I was battling with that conviction. Is this the path to take? If so, then let's make it work.
Wow, that's amazing. You said something about disrupting the culture, and we can relate so well with that because in Benin, when I was talking to Isaac, who is the host for this event, and he told me some of the challenges in Benin where they're not even as advanced as Nigerians. You know, it was a struggle to actually get the people be aware of what opportunities, and there's this short-sightedness, right?
Yeah.
Because what you're exposed to affect how far you can go, right? You know, you talk about seeing earlier on, and the way you said it was like you can be looking, but you may not be seeing, right? And that seeing, it's so important to be able to have a model or something you can see afar off. So I want to ask you this question. Because some of us, we may be facing this challenge on how to disrupt the market, especially when it feels lonely, when it feels like you're the only one on it. And what will you advise? What tips can you give in such periods? Because that's when people give up, right? You know, you know. So what tips can you share on that?
You see, if you will build something that will stand the test of time, you should be comfortable at being lonely at some point in your journey. You should be comfortable that everybody going this way and you're going this way. For example, in the story I shared, there were many times I organized events. Let me give you a practical story that happened in Congo.
I know where this is going. I know where it's going.
And I had volunteers that came to help me the previous day on a Friday evening to set the hall, prepare things and all of that. And it was a training on skills development and all of these things and all of that. And the next day, nobody showed up. Not even the volunteers that helped.
Not even the volunteers
organize the event.
Oh my God.
Like, people were looking at me at that time as if I was mad. You're not talking about success in an environment where 95% of the people are like farmers, subsistence farmers. You see? So talking about, like I used to tell, I don't know where I used to get that, but the Holy Spirit helped me, I guess, where I would just say that, look, the things I'm teaching you, these same things will take me around the world.
Come on now.
At that time, I have never gone to my own, at that time, I have never traveled to my capital city. I have never gone to a bigger city in my life. But I was so convinced that what I was teaching can transform anybody's life. I was so convinced. So I would organize events and literally beg people to come and attend. Sometimes I'll go house to house and remind them, please, that event tomorrow, make sure you come and attend. I was so sure that what I was teaching them can help them. Because at that time, I was reading a lot. So, you know, reading is the only thing that will open you up to a world that you have never been there.
Yeah.
You see, Frederick Douglass, for those who don't know him, he was a slave. He shared the story where at the young age, I think at the age of 8, he was a slave, born a slave, and a slave at then. And the wife of the slave master was teaching him how to read and how to read the Bible at the time. So when the slave master came in, the husband of the madam that was teaching him came in, the husband shouted at the wife, don't teach him how to read.
Oh my goodness.
Because he said when a slave reads, they will discover that there is a world beyond slavery. And when I heard that, my mind blew up.
Wow.
When the slave will read, they will discover that there is a world beyond slavery.
There's a world beyond slavery.
So as a visionary, there are things that from where you are sitting, you are seeing that the masses cannot see. So you need to be so comfortable at being alone from your conceptualization to your marketing phase, and be so comfortable that you'll be misunderstood and still be, that's why I said conviction. And you are so convinced that this can make things change in the lives of people. I think that is critical. And then every other thing, build the skills and all of that, and you're going to go.
Hey, I have somebody that said, please recap that word. You want to do a recap? On just a short recap.
Oh, what was I saying? Okay. I'm sure you're talking about the visionary stuff. Again, as I said, talking about Frederick Douglass, right?
Yeah.
The master told the wife, don't teach this young slave how to read, because when they will know how to read, they will know that there is a world beyond slavery. In other words, if you are following this in a small little town, and maybe you're basically living below the poverty line, I can tell you that there are things that when you begin to expose your mind to, even though you were broke at the time, but you have new convictions that there is a place where if I can get there, I will never be the same way again. It will redefine the rest of your existence.
Amen. That was good. That was good. That was good. So we're wrapping up now, and the last thing I have for you before we wrap up. Actually, I'm contemplating if I should make it the last one. Okay, this is semi last. So we have 2 more questions for you. The next one will be failing. What's your perspective on failing? You know, because I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, and being an entrepreneur for 20 years wasn't that I was doing part-time job. I was actually full. So, and sometimes I've seen, there was someone that called me and told me, said, "Oh, what do you do?" I said, "I'm an entrepreneur." I said, "Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. You have time. You can do anything at any time."
Yeah, right. One of the biggest lies in entrepreneurship. I don't know
that big lie caused problems in 2020 because a lot of people went ahead and create jobs and they didn't have it, you know. So I'll give you like 2 minutes just to talk about failing, and then we'll wrap up.
If I can talk about failing for years because I have failed. See, I have so failed that I have experience at failing. And the best thing that happened to me at this stage of my life are the failures I went through in the last 30 years of my life. Let me say so. Because I always say that there are things that no book can teach you. There are things that no mentor can teach you. There are things that under your failure can teach you. And they're so valuable and so powerful that can really redefine the rest of your life. You know, Denzel Washington said something. He said, in the first part of your life, you learn. In the middle part of your life, you earn. And in the last part of your life, you return. Right? And the first part of learning, failure is an integral part of learning that. You see? And failure is the tuition that you pay for dominion. Failure is the tuition that you must pay to dominate. You will never see somebody who has dominated an industry that has not failed. Do you want to dominate? The school fee, the tuition for dominion is failure. Go and pay the price.
That's good. That's so good. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all these insights with us. We're going to take a quick commercial ad about the upcoming event on the 23rd, which is next week. That's an in-person conference for the people in Benin. I want you to be at that event. I want you to experience more. So thank you so much, Dr. Joybert, for sharing with us today. All right.
Thank you for me.